Yeah, a lot of control point maps are just like who wins first, and then how are you getting back in? It's so hard to get back in on a lot of these control maps just because of the entryway. So the first fight means so much. It's always meant so much in control point maps. I think Ilios especially because it's so hard to get it back. But it's just so hard to get in versus established team on here that these fights mean a lot. Rib already has the orb, gonna jump in.
Alrighty, so we are starting things out here, and C9 not wasting a whole lot of time, rushing right in, but Rib gonna get punished for that early attack. Retzi with the immediate punish. Spirit going in big! 2 quick kills coming out from Spirit. Mendo finally putting an end to it, but not before C9 finds themselves in a bit of a hole, so it's a good punch coming out, but Rise may be overextending a little bit. They lose Retzi, and C9, they're gonna have a chance to turn this back in their favor very quickly, so I'm not sure I would expect Rise to keep control for too long here, as Mendo getting ready to roll in, Rib back in the battlefield, and here we go once more.
Yeah, they did grab a couple kills, playing it very cautious. I thought they might jump on and try to just contest them from even taking that point, but now it looks like about 5v5 on point, but Midnight takes down Rib. That's going to be a big kill and advantage to them. They're bullying them out at this point.
They are bullying it out, and this is a really good showing from Rise this far. 3 extra kills coming in, C9 not able to regain the momentum. And they're going to get pushed down. They just have to fully regroup. But look at the ult situation going into the next fight, where there's going to be a big advantage to Rise.
I thought C9 had a great opportunity. Like, after the initial fight went and they were taking point, they did get 2 kills. So they were going to be 5v4 fighting on the point. They chose to stay back and not aggress on it and try to bide their time. Did not work out for them, as the next 2 deaths were theirs.
Alright, well, Desra right now going to open up with a bit of harassment to the C9 backline, going to Primal Rage. Ends up getting heavily damaged, but here comes Spirit. Graviton out, looking for the Dragon Blade follow-up. Pulse Bomb coming in, Dragon Blade going in. It's 4 kills here from the side Rise, and that's pretty much to be expected with the ult advantage they had. The only downside for C9 is that C9 didn't really bleed the ults out of them. They used the sound barrier and still got wiped, where probably would have been better there just to get wiped.
I think the most underrated hero on King of the Hill lately has been Zenyatta, and right now we're seeing Locke put on a clinic as far as his discords and target selection, and I don't know if Wolf is super comfortable on Zen.
Well, Graviton comes in from Kai, does set up Surefour and Mendo for 2, now 3 kills. And Surefour just going crazy in the backfield, bringing his Tracer right on to Rise. Okay. He's not being stopped.
4 kills for Surefour. There's a 5th right there as he takes down Spirit to try to come in, and they will flip it back over. Although down 2% to 89%, they have to win pretty much every fight here on out. Otherwise, they're going to lose this stage. But as I said, these control point maps, if you can just hold door, Surefour adds another kill. Surefour putting it on his shoulders right now.
And that's one of the trickiest thing to do as a Tracer, to find the right moment to get a Pulse Bomb on Zarya, because if you time it wrong or she has shield, she can just nullify it, so it's one of the riskier plays you can do. Surefour, though, able to find the right window of opportunity, able to chain out deaths, and buy C9 a lot of extra valuable time here. And for C9, they're going to have to win at least one of these fights down ults, so they have one very tough fight ahead of them, if nothing else. But here we go, next fight underway. Spirit already on the Wolf, Dragon Blade coming out, looking for more, has the double kill, moving to the back line. Will it be 3? He does get 3. Spirit beasting once more. And this is going to let Rise retake this point, and C9 backs against the wall early on here in Nepal.
He should flip it. Rib did jump off the cliff. I think he was low health anyway. Spirit does take out his opposing number in Mendo, and now they're just going to try to lock down this door, not let them in, and try to contest. That's all they're trying to do, so they're going to take so much entry damage. Does Surefour on his way in, gets cleaned up by Spirit. There goes Retzi taking down a kill as well. This should be Rise's point.
It just feels like the troubles continue for C9 on control maps. Now, of course, again, they're adapting to a new roster and all the rest, but
well,
they just weren't able to get things going the way they were looking for there. And it's what I feel like it started out where they were a little bit over aggro on the initial tank engage, got punished, and then it was just difficult for them to end up reversing momentum right after that.
Well, they don't have 2 support players on this team. I mean, have you ever seen Wolf play Zenyatta before?
Wolf, I mean, he's somewhat multi-talented. I mean, I have seen him on Zen before, but not in a match.
But he's not a support player, is what I'm saying. So, I mean, you've got Adam. Adam's your support. Kai is your tank. Then you've got Surefour. It's going to be your DPS. Rib is a tank, but then Mendo and Wolf are both flex DPS players. So, who can play the second support for them? And I really did feel like Locke was wrecking people with his Discord, whereas Wolf did not get the value of a Zenyatta that you're looking for. And you need to run Zen on these control maps.
All right, well, Rib right now opening things up once more. Midnight in rough shape there, getting focused down by Mendo, Surefour, and Rib respectively, as Mendo starting to go off, gets 2 early kills to start off this fight. Spirit, though, bring it right back. So 4v4 right now between both teams as Mendo still going in. Mendo gonna end up finishing up with 4. And Mendo's Genji coming out with authority here as C9 will be able to take first control of this point.
Yeah, so this Cloud9 roster so far has, when they win points and when they win objectives, it's either Mendo or Short4 just murdering everyone. Like 4K is on either side. Mendo already has this Dragon Blade up, though Spirit not far behind, so we might see some sushi cutting here momentarily. Everyone else a bit further away as the fight continues.
Well, here comes Mendo. Dragon Blade is going to be unsheathed. He's moving to the backline looking for Locke and get that first kill. Spirit, though, doing work in his backline in turn, so Xfrenzy and Spirit able to turn around. Mendo not getting as much as he wants to begin with. Spirit moving back over. And now not only is Rise going to retake this point, but Spirit's going to have a Dragon Blade of his own going into the next fight.
Yeah, so they do bring it back, and by the time the next fight happens, it will likely be just about evened up 25% on the side of Cloud9 as Rise takes this high ground, going to poke in here and there, but that was a very aggressive blink and has to get there as Tracer. They are going to rotate around to the right side and force Rise to collapse on them.
All right, well, here comes Spirit. Dragon Blade at the ready once more. Not getting as much as he wants. Soundbeard definitely stymieing him a bit. Not a good game for Dragon Blade to start things out here. Both teams still full strength, but Rise definitely losing the poke war quite a bit. Share4 in the backline. 50 HP, getting healed all the way back up. Here we go. Graviton is out. Pulse Bomb is in, and now it's going to be a double kill for Share4. Gave his life for the cause as Kai and Rib right now fighting out his 2-on-2 in the point. Sorry, 2-on-3, but Rib, with the Primal Rage, able to keep stalling it out. Unfortunately, though, Rise has controlled the point.
A tale of two transcendences, though, because one was absolutely nullifying the entire Graviton. The other one came out early and Graviton after, so that is exactly how that fight went, but unable to clean it up as the reinforcements do come in. Not the longest control point map as far as getting reinforcements, and especially when you're running a Tracer and Genji, they're able to bring bodies back on this point and allow it to not be flipped over. 32 to 56 is the count in favor of Cloud9, and they look like they're going to be battling up top right again. Looks like to be Rise Nation's entry here.
Rise is going to try and turn this back, but oh no, Share4 with the Pulse Bomb almost gets to pick up to start things off, and Rib being highly aggressive, just cleaving everyone on Rise as they try and get through. Share4 going to end up hitting Paydirt, getting on to Winston, but here comes Spirit. Dragon Blade on the ready. Doesn't get anything just yet. Finally does find Wolf. Midnight doing a little bit of work into the backfield, and it's a very close fight here, but Rise definitely with the momentum as Midnight going to get 2 more kills to clean things up.
Yeah, Spirit's still alive, gets the bubble. It looks like they're just backing Spirit completely. He's had the orb, he's had the Zarya bubble the entire time, and if you're gonna run a Genji like that, you kind of have to run it that way, right? Give him all the support possible from your team. He was able to clean up, get some other bodies in there to distract fire, able to flip that back over. This stage is dead even right now. The next big fight that's happened is gonna be about 70 to 70.
It's not only even, and you take a look, both teams have Gravitons up already. It's going to matter who's going to get the better Graviton. Kai opening up with his Graviton, going to pull in 3. Share4 moving in. It's going to be Xfrenzy on the counter, actually. Counter Graviton ends up picking up 2. Xfrenzy makes it a triple kill, so the combo coming out from Rise just a little bit stronger. They're going to win this ult showdown and put C9 in a very rough position.
Well, Locke has been laughing in the face of Gravitons this entire stage. Like, that's the 3rd time they got Graviton, and Locke's just sitting there ascending to a higher plane as he pops Transcendence, keeps his entire team alive, then post that Graviton, they clean it up. Spirit x Retzi combined for 3 kills, might be 4. Their Desro is chipping in. This should be Rise Nation stage.
Rise absolutely going to take this. Spirit with enormous cleanup at the very end, and like I said, I'm not going to say this is a trend, but it is a little bit troubling for C9 on control points. The one good thing for them, of course, is that moving forward, they do, in the series alone, they do have the option of going to nothing but payload going forward. So they don't have to hit another control point map, but it does feel like a bit of a weakness. We'll see if they can turn things back in this map, but it does feel like Rise has had a pretty significant advantage overall.
Yeah, which is kind of odd, because if you look at the Cloud9 roster, you'd think like, oh, control should be good for them because it's mechanical. It's a more individual play style than perhaps payload is. But, you know, so far, I think they're struggling with not having someone who's played support for 9 months. I think that's like kind of the biggest difference. If you look at the difference in play between Locke and Wolf, Locke has played Zenyatta more, and it shows.
Locke has definitely been having a good game. I know we don't highlight supports as much as we should, but he has been doing well. Meanwhile, though, take a look at Share 4. Share 4 coming in here to the back. A little bit of Tracer on Tracer action to start things off here as both teams trade off, but Walk just gonna walk away, but Share 4 will be getting that kill with the aid of Kai. Relatively even between both teams. Spirit in the back line. Not dead yet. Will go down the Kai. And when C9 does well in control, a lot of it does come off the back of Kai. He has enormous games, and he has 3 kills right now to start things off. A fully charged up Zarya moving in, melting X-Redzy. X-Redzy lucky to get out of there with his life. Unfortunately, though, for C9, even though they're still in this fight, they were pushed off to where they lost first control at this point, and Rise can still just delay them out for quite a while.
Well, you're absolutely correct. The old C9, you could tell if they were going to win just if you saw Kai and Debit showing up in the kill feed and like just hanging out next to each other. Right now, it's just Kai. They do trade kills back and forth as Wolf and Spirit get one each, 5v5, but that's a giant Graviton coming out. Only Rib is going to live through this as he Primal Rages.
Meanwhile, no, Kai is still alive. The last survivor, as it is, still holding on to his charge, just backing out of that situation before things go too terrible. But he's going to have a Graviton of his own, and even though Spirit was able to get the cleanup, sending Rib to the moon, I feel like C9 should have a good effort on here in the next fight. Now, the other team's going to have a Sound Bearer up, and there will be a Transcendence up here for the defensive Rise, but if C9's gonna make a turnabout, I kind of feel like they have to do it here.
You think they wait for Shore 4, right? Just because the comms are probably better between Kai and Shore 4, getting that Big Bang Theory than like maybe a Graviton into Dragon Blade. Here comes the Graviton, I was wrong.
Graviton comes out, they're not waiting too long. Mendo saving the Dragon Blade. Kai gonna get 2 kills off that, still very even. Down goes Mendo, not able to get what he's looking for, and Spirit and X-Redzy coming in once more on the flank. Both flankers still alive from Rise. And Kai now in a bit of trouble, gonna go down to X-Redzy, and Rise holding on, and C9 gonna be down to potentially their last push here, Hex, in just a moment.
They're winning fights, but not decisively at all. If there's 4 on the point, they kill 2. If there's 3 on the point, they kill 2. They're just not able to clean up and flip these things back. It's been a trend for the last couple of maps, so they're getting in on fights. Their engagements are okay, but their cleanup is not quite there as far as just get them off the point and focusing on how you need to capture the objective.
All right, well, the Genji Space program in progress. Mendo, Dragon Blade coming out after that big leap, but Rib gonna be first to fall here. C9 already down 1 person. They have to win this fight or they're gonna lose the round. Share 4 trying to be the hero. Takes out Midnight. Mendo moving back in. 3 kills here from C9. C9, they will at least stay alive here in Nepal. They should be able to retake this, but they're gonna have to win effectively every fight left in this round, and that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that was a beautiful grab though, like very well done. Grabs a bunch from a nice angle and everyone is able to clean that up there. They are going to have the ultimate advantage, at least momentarily. Spirit's going to have his up in a second, and Midnight has his up as well, but pretty even as far as ultimates go. And yes, they do have to hold it forever, otherwise this map is over. In fight incoming.
Midnight right now moving in, does have the Graviton at the ready. Graviton can be dropped only against Kai. Kai does not care, immediately turns the tables, taking him out. But let's take a look at Spirit. Spirit did pull Dragon Blade, only got 1 kill off it. And speaking of Dragon Blades, Mendo, Dragon Blade of his own, gonna take out X-Redzy, looking for a little bit more, darting in and around. It's gonna be 4 kills here from C9, and C9 able to win this exchange of ultimates, buy themselves more time. They're gonna have to do about 2 to 3 more times to win this round, but they're hanging in there, Hex.
The best part of it is you look at the right side of that roster, and Shore 4, Wolf, and RYB, or Rib, I don't know exactly what you call them, all have their ultimates up. So they did not burn any that they didn't need to burn, so they're in a decent position here. They look like a much more coordinated team the second half of the stage.
Shore 4 able to get on the walk, 2 kills coming out from C9, and that's it. Like, you get 2 quick kills like that, set up by Mendo and Shore 4, you're going to win the fight, straight up. And they didn't have to expend much in the way of resources. They did spend the Transcendence, but going to the next fight, they will have a Graviton. They're doing well in the alt economy side to keep their advantage, which is easier said than done on King of the Hill.
Right. On your way in on attacking things on King of the Hill, your thought is like, if you lose 1, you're like, all right, we'll see you. You lose 2, it's like, get back, retreat. We can't 4v6 this. Another giant Graviton comes in as they look for the follow-up over the top. Shore 4 comes in, takes down a couple. Wolf and Shore 4 combined for a few, but that is going to be, again, Mendo with the 4K.
Mendo. After, you'd think normally it's going to be the Graviton Pulse Bomb, that's a big play there, but Mendo with the 4K cleanup on the Dragon Blade, able to keep things in C9's favor. And again, they take down Faz. This is where he just had the rush in, the try and get in the overtime. They stopped that outright, and C9 able to take their first round of the map, and they are going to stay alive, at least for now.
Yeah, took stage there, 1-2 on our first map of this best of 3 at Nepal. Yeah, it's... I mean, it's encouraging, yes, that Cloud9 won a map, but they still won it in the same way that they've won other ones, where their DPS just went kind of ham there. Although if Kai continues to elevate his play to the level that he's been playing at, I think they can cover up some of the disadvantages they have of being a new roster. So we'll see what they bring out here. My eyes are still on the Zenyatta players. I'm still a little bit suspect of Wolf on the Zenyatta. We'll see if he gets more comfortable as we move on.
I think his comfortable, or how comfortable he is on the Zenyatta will get better as it goes on. Yeah. Just playing with the team more, because a lot of Zen is communication, right? Right. Telling teams, hey, I'm marking this, I'm going for this, get on that, and just teams getting used to each other. But take a look here, Sure4 looking to go in right away. If Lucky, oh no, not Lucky at all! Ends up falling off the rewind. Had the rewind early they want to because that first strike. But C9 at least able to take out the opposing Tracer, not out of this fight just yet, but here comes Spirit once more, diving deep into the backline. And this is where Wolf not going to be able to do anything about that. Spirit going right in, and Rise going to get first control of this point, and guessing Sure4 probably would want to take that one back if he could.
Spirit's just been a nightmare for Wolf. It's to the point where I think like maybe Rib should be playing defensive Winston. Like you don't jump in, you don't extend and try to get kills. You just hang out with your Zen and make sure that anyone who tries to touch him dies and feels the Primate Wrath. I think that might be a better situation for them as Wolf's been left alone and picked off a couple times here.
We take a look at Spirit right now. Spirit does have Dragon Blade at the ready. C9 looking for their opportunity, but they're going to have to deal with this Dragon Blade. They don't have anything that really is a big shutdown on Spirit either, so we'll see how this next fight works. But right now, he's content to poke on the back, look for the Zen, and Dragon Blade going to be coming out here. First from Mendo in the back line, but getting stymied fully by the sound barrier.
Yeah, double transcend comes up off the point, like making sure everyone very healthy. Couple Zaryas here back and forth, but Spirit does add a couple there. Takes down two. They should be their point. They've got the numbers here.
They do have the numbers, and Spirit, he was really patient with that Dragon Blade, but pulled it out as the fight was getting a little bit in its latter stages, got the kills he's looking for, and even gets a cleanup on Sure4 at the end. So now 55% here for Rise. C9, only about 2 good pushes left in them. And if they have Sound Barrier on deck, they're really going to need to get the most of this, because they're going to have Sound Barrier or Graviton Hex. If they don't get it on this next fight, it's going to be really hard to see them actually retaking this round.
Sound Barrier, Graviton, and then the Pulse coming in. If they can grab more than 2 here in the Graviton will be super important, but they're just going to kind of bully their way in. Sound Barrier not necessarily getting the value, like a couple kills during that fight, but Sure4 does take on lock. Here comes the Graviton on to Cloud9, actually.
Graviton comes in, C9, but the follow-up wasn't exactly there coming out from Rise. They did not have the immediate Pulse Bomb or anything like that, and as a result, C9 still alive, still in this fight as Mendo looking for the final cleanup, getting in on X-Retzi, Rib able to get in on Faz. But here comes Spirit. I'm not sure if Spirit's gonna be the hero. He's immediately taken down by Wolf. Mendo pulls out the Dragon Blade late in the fight, and I'm not actually sure he needed to do that, but C9 coming back with all of a 3% margin on the progress.
Yeah. So they are going to have to win every fight from here on out. The good thing is, though, Kai did die without his Graviton. Doesn't sound great to you, but it does mean they have a Graviton up. Sure4 charging that Tracer Pulse Bomb shouldn't be an issue, but here comes Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade coming out from Spirit again, going to the backline. He's able to take out Kai with it, ends up getting the double onto Wolf, so a quick strike coming out here from Rise. Remember, if Rise takes the point here, they're almost certainly going to win this map. Spirit moving in, gets the dash reset, and things looking really good right now for Rise. Off of the back of Spirit, off of those early picks. Sure4, though, he is the X Factor. He's still alive, but he is awfully outnumbered right now, Hex.
Like, it's not going to matter, but that was a really pretty Pulse Bomb. So Sure4, thumbs up from me, because that one was a fadeaway Kobe jump shot that he got in there. They are going to contest there. As the Graviton comes in late, they are hitting their Primal Rage as well, but only able to trade out Zaryas on the point.
They trade out Zaryas for the cost of Graviton, but this is desperation for C9. All hands are on deck. All resources are here. This is overtime. If they get knocked out here, that's going to be it. It's going to be the map, so they have to look for those heroics right here, right now. But here comes Spirit. Dragon Blade out, looking to finish out this game. Ends up with the double kill, moving in and around the point. And Rise looking very good here. Sure4 still back in the point, but it's just not going to be enough.
Now that's Rise Nation taking Nepal 3-1 versus this newly revamped Cloud9 roster. 3 of 6 are Cloud9, and 3 of 6 are probably the best waiver wire pickups you could have in Overwatch if you're starting a fantasy team. Mendo being one of them, will take play of the game, but they did not take this map.
And again, just to reiterate, as far as C9 goes right now, the roster changes are not final. They're testing new people out. Just to be completely clear, it's not like these people are signed yet, but there's some promising stuff for the roster, but clearly parts where they need to refine, work out, and definitely just get more scrim time under their belt.
I have a ton of respect for him, like, for that, because, like, a lot of teams would be like, no, we're going to scrim, we're going to figure it out, we don't want to be on stream, we don't want to be, like, in the tournament for it, but like, they're like, well, you know, people know that Cloud9 is going through some changes, we'll just play whatever we have, and maybe we win some games, maybe we don't, but they're trying it out, they're doing it live, they're doing it the O'Reilly way.
They're doing it live.
Oh,
man. I mean, usually that starts with, like, another statement in front, but that's just not fit for broadcast, Hex.
No, it's not, no. Well, we'll just do it live. I don't know. Like, I really do think that I think Adam's probably pulling his hair out right now, being the only true support on that team. And it's going to be interesting to see what they flex over to secondary support here and there, because they do have flexes, they've had DPS, they have like one pure tank. But I'm not ragging on Wolf at all. He doesn't play Zenyatta. He had to play Zenyatta, so Locke was clearly better there. But it's going to be interesting to see like who has to play second support. Overwatch is a game that yes, there's varied metas, and sometimes you can play single support, but those times are rare. You need two.
Alrighty, so we are going right into it. We're going to try and keep the downtime to a minimum here today, guys. I know Twitch chat abhors downtime and all the rest, so the less overtalk, the better as far as we're concerned. Getting into the next map here, C9 versus Rise. Rise striking first blood on Nepal. C9 looking to reverse their fortunes here on Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood was a map that we would generally favor Cloud9 on, if it was the old Cloud9. Someone run Symmetra for me, please. Maybe when she gets changed, we'll see Symmetra again. I love me some Sim, but that used to be the old Cloud9 strategy. Symmetra falling out of favor on defensive hybrid maps, much more in favor of perhaps a Mei or a more solid support. Ana and Mei have taken over Symmetra's role there, because if you don't die, you don't need a teleporter. I get it, but it looks like they're going to be running pretty standard looking Hollywood defense here with the Mei, the Ana, and everything around that as well. So 2-2-2 coming up for the Cloud9 defense.
And I would say interesting stuff for C9 2-2-2. We have seen a lot of teams go, actually, we're not going to run 2 DPS characters. We're just going to run even more standard, more safe with 3 tanks, 2 supports, 1 DPS. And Mei, of course, she's an interesting case where she's part DPS, part tank, part sort of a unique character in terms of the sense that she can do a lot of damage and clearly influence a fight in a huge way, but she definitely has tank aspects to her too in terms of both her own survivability and her ability to control the fight, which you look at what heroes like Reinhardt do, you know, sort of into the realm of that, even though not quite. So it's just cool to see her get more play, no pun intended.
Totally intended. Yeah, but like XRSE is going to run this Hanzo, and it still does surprise me that you're running a Hanzo without a Roadhog. I always thought that was kind of the thing, but people are more happy to try to get those picks. I think the Sonic Arrow and the Hook combination did, pay dividends for a lot of team, but they're choosing to go with a couple more standard tanks, 2-2-2 on the offense as well.
I think for them, they have confidence that XRXE is going to be able to find someone here, and oh my goodness, he had a beautiful opportunity to get Surefour, ends up wasting it. Surefour wasn't even really moving there. No. So that's unfortunate from XRXE. That could have been absolutely huge to take out Surefour that early, but now the jig is up. He's going to have to back up a little bit, as the rest of his team right now trying to go in from the front. Very mixed success. Mendo doing a good job of controlling things here in the Mei, and C9 bending, not breaking. Nanoboo's going to be coming out early, but the backline getting devastated as it goes in, and even a good sleep to stop Desro in his tracks. So
beautiful sleep right into Earthshatter to make sure that they're able to clean this up. They get a couple kills there. That was a phenomenal sleep dart, beautifully executed, and that's how you know a team is good on comms, and that was a big question I had for this team. Are they talking enough? If you get a sleep dart on someone and they're not woken up, someone's talking, right? And they've communicated that well enough, and I think that will only get better as this team moves through the tournament.
So for C9, what do they get here because they won that first fight? They're going to have a Blizzard up in a moment. They're going to have Sound Barrier and Graviton. They have a big ult advantage where Rise right now will have a big trouble actually getting through this, because here's what's going to happen. Mendo's going to separate out Desro here, has Blizzard if it's necessary. And Spirit, even though he's coming in the fair, this is going to be rough. Sound Barrier v Sound Barrier being matched up here in Surefour right now, ready to drop in from the back. Going to move in, fall up on the Earth Shatter. 4 quick kills here from C9, so nothing too crazy there, just good, solid mechanical play coming out.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit of overkill there is they Gravitoned into Earthshatter into Blizzard, and those are all amazing ultimates that they just burned on one set of targets, so they are going to have a decent advantage on the offense here, as you can check by the charts above. They're going to have 3 to 4 ultimates to 0 here. A successful junk rush, if that's what they were going for from Rise Nation.
This is Rise's opportunity here. They need to get the Graviton into Dragon Strike. Ooh. There's a Graviton. Dragon Strike coming out. Will set up for at least 1 kill. So 65 here for Rise. But Surefour coming from the back has Death Blossom. Moving in from the back. Ends up taking up 2. It's going to end at 2. Will Mendo and Adam be able to pull it forward? And Spirit doing his best to say no, we're not actually going to get held by a Mei and her Lucio.
Yeah, one of the best heroes in those kind of scrappy 3v3s and 2v2s is Pharah, because you just don't have to fight at the same level, literally and figuratively. Up above, just raining damage, hard for non-hit scan or range characters to deal with you, and you just untouchable. Here comes the Barrage late to try to really lock this out. A little surprised the defense keeps melting onto this, but maybe Surefour can bring it back on a boosted Reaper.
Anytime you have nano boost into a Reaper, there's always hope. Yeah. That's one thing that I think people should have learned over the last few weeks of Overwatch play, but the Earthshatter coming in from Desro, as Rise just saying, look, this is our point, get off. Mendo, though, still alive over the top.
A lot of time.
Will get taken out by that Ana, and it's definitely all the momentum in the world in favor of Rise, but not bad on C9 to get a little bit of extra stall there.
Yeah, I don't really mind trickling on to first point Hollywood anymore, because where you're really going to hold, there's not teams that can successfully hold first roof anymore, and unless you just really lose first that badly. So a lot of first roofs aren't being held, high ground not as prioritized as it used to be, so you're able to get back in position even trickling onto first, and it does buy those valuable seconds.
Well, speaking of combos coming up here, Xretzi does have Dragon Strike, but there is no offensive Zarya anymore, so he's not going to get that free setup for his Dragon Strike. Gonna have to use it more for zoning. And take a look at the defense. So they have Graviton set up right now. Earthshatter gonna come in, knocking down 2. And here comes Surefour off the Death Blossom and Nano Boost. Takes down 2, looking for the 3rd. Gonna be a full wipe here for C9, but the Resurrection is out. The fight not over yet. Mendo, though, over the top, coming in as Pharah, taking down 2 before going down himself. And C9, res or no res, looking like they're still going to control this fight.
Maybe. Here comes the Barrage over top.
On, Spirits.
Yeah.
Spirit making it interesting towards the end.
It's just the Reinhardt and the Mercy on this card. Wolf is behind, actually. No, not the Mercy, the Ana. Ana Mercy. So Rib has all the protection he needs, uses it to take out the Hanzo, but they are making progress here. Like I mentioned, it's so important to get this through the bend. Like, the very first place where the limo's pushing is absolutely brutal for the offense. If they can just get it like halfway through, they have more options as far as their next engagements come.
It is pretty brutal, and you take a look at the defense right now, they are at least able to restabilize. They will have a nano boost up. Both teams are going to have the nano boost up, so it's going to be nano boost v nano boost. Not a whole lot else, but Surefour once more in the back line, takes down Mercy early. There will not be a res in this fight, putting McCree under all sorts of pressure, ends up getting the double, and now he's coming back to the pack. But Ana, Locke doing a really good job of suppressing Surefour and forcing him out.
Spirit with a 3K here takes down a lot of important elements of this Cloud9 team as they try to push forward. Mendo trying to do his own Pharah work as well as they push forward, but Locke is going to be near the cart. There is Surefour still alive, pops up from a siesta as he tries to get back in. Kai takes down Midnight, and it looks like this is going to stall out and stabilize yet again despite the bloodbath.
And you take a look at C9. C9 comes out ahead in the bloodbath because they're going to have an ult advantage going to the next fight, and there's only less than a minute left here, so Rise absolutely backs against the wall right now. They're going to have to win this fight, down ults, down a lot of momentum. I'm not sure it's going to be possible, and Surefour right now is looking for the kill shot. He's coming in off the back. They don't realize he's here. If he can just speed boost it, or here comes the Graviton. Surefour coming to the back, just casually walks up, goes for the Death Blossom, doesn't get quite as much as he's looking for, but the res will be bringing up those fallen C9 members. But Baz saying, I can do that too.
It's the good old days where I'm just looking for a Mercy in the kill feed. Do they kill the opposing team's Mercy? Resurrection is out on the side of the defense already. Baz does not have his ready either, and they look like they're cleaning this up on the chase. That should be Cloud9 holding on Hollywood street phase here, so a pretty easy win condition set up for them on the next part of this map.
Mendo right now content to stay up here over the top, and they're not able to get overtime in progress. C9 definitely be setting themselves up well here on Hollywood, because as you mentioned, all they have to do is push the payload just a little bit further on their attack, and they will force a map number 3, and some good games here today, Hex.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Wolf looks a little better when he gets to run the Ana. I feel like Ana's a little more suited to his skill set overall, and they looked very good on their Hollywood defense. So Hollywood offense on the way for them. And as you know, Rise Nation just beat them in a control point map. So Cloud9 looking to stay up in groups here and beat Rise Nation here, take a map off them. We'll be going to a map 3 if they are successful.
Alrighty, so take a look here at the defense as it comes out here from the side of Rise Nation, where, again, they're going to have to put on a gem of a defensive setup here. Arguably, the best chance they have of holding is getting that first point hold, but it's easier said than done. I remember there was a point where we were watching Hollywood games where I feel like no team actually had a hold on Hollywood, even just a one fight on Hollywood first point defense for, it felt like
there was that span of like 10 days where you might as well just not have played Hollywood first. It just didn't matter, didn't even come into existence. A little bit different lately, we'll see. And actually, like, you know, where they got it as far as progress-wise, it's about halfway through Streets. So a lot of teams, like Streets has been divided into nearly 3 points by now. Very first, middle, and last, because it's been very contentious battles all the way through, which has been kind of a new iteration of Hollywood. Teams not necessarily focusing the high ground and trying to get through. So it's an interesting progress point where they have. I do like that they're still running this Pharah, though. I think Pharah is very good on Hollywood 1, and really there's nothing on the defense that should be able to deal with it successfully.
I'm just glad to see more Pharah, and I agree. You look at the defense here, there's no McCree, there's no Zen, and it was really McCree Zen that was able to stop Pharah from being effective. But if you're not running in the McCree, you're not running the Zen, sure, Ana can apply some degree of pressure to the Pharah, but it's definitely going to be more of a playground here.
It's on Lock and Midnight and Retzi to maybe hit a hook. But you'd think, you know, someone with the experience of Mendo is not going to get in a hook range, but range is easily underestimatable, if that's a word. It might not be.
Underestimated. Oh, man. Bring back the old George Bush vibes. But Mendo right now moving in, laying an early poke, and this is a good poke setup here for C9. They're definitely winning the poke war to start things out. Mendo not overextending. Reaper, though, coming in from the backline, takes down Adam. He's going to find himself without his mercy, and just like that, Rise Nation has turned the tables. A great pick from Spirit to set things up, and they're going to move into the C9 front line and go from there. So C9, it was a good start for them, but unfortunately, Spirit kind of ruining their party.
Yeah, no mercy, no surrender, as they got collapsed on after the fact, too. They wanted to get out, but they were too far in, and they know that, like, they were trying to bail on it, and they collapsed. Got 3 more kills on that. A beautiful first hold defense. We are entering the ultimate stage of the game, though, so we'll see which Graviton is better, because both teams have that one up.
Graviton is up for both teams, and Mendo is the X Factor right now, does have Barrage at the ready. Moving into the backline, Barrage is out. Justice raining from over the top, and a nano boost, no less. Mendo, though, only getting 1 kill off to start things off. The Spirit goes in the backline, has 2 of his own, gonna force out the res from Adam.
He was really late on it, but did make it work. It is 4v3 right now as this fight continues, but Kai evens that up to 3v3. A nice hit comes in from Short Fork as he tries to take out his opposing number. Retzi, though, does pop his ultimate, able to push back the remnants of this offense as Wolf does finally go out. It remains to be scrappy. Offense with a very small window here. I would not be bothered to see them push the advantage here, as they only have 3 up, but that 3 is stronger than the 3 they have up on defense, although numbers are stabilizing now.
Well, here's the interesting thing here for Rise is that they have to hold this for 2 minutes, but there is a victory condition in sight. If they can win this next fight somehow, they're going to be in a real position to put C9 in the ropes. But here comes C9. Rib, of course, holding on to the Earth Shatter. Going to drop the Earth Shatter. Doesn't get too much off it. Ends up going to charge. Oh, he finds McCree. Retzi going to get punished. 3 kills coming out here from C9. And they are in a great position right now to get this first point and get the payload moving.
Adam continues his wizardry. I have no idea how he stays alive on his mercy. He is just a pixie in flight, constantly unable to be locked down and killed. They are going to grab this first point. Adam has just been indestructible since the very first time I remember this Google Me roster playing. You just couldn't kill Adam, and that's been an issue, and it remains to be seen how you successfully and consistently kill Adam on his mercy and even his Zenyatta.
Well, continuing the too easy tradition of playing a million different characters, Mendo has swapped up once more. Now on the McCree. Mendo, pretty deep character pool for better or worse for the C9 side of things right now, and he's going to be in the McCree. And I think they were actually worried about seeing a defensive Pharah, but that's not in progress here just yet. But, you know, if you have McCree versus McCree, I definitely trust Mendo with that as well.
weird place where these fights are always happening on Hollywood. It's like right through first engage, and there goes a couple kills for the defense, even up though 4v4 sound barrier does come off.
Adam's still alive in this fight, going the res was fallen C9 Heroes, and C9, they're going to grit this out. They have a good opportunity to turn this back in their edge right now. Kai holding on to that Graviton. I don't think he's going to use it here just yet, just very content to shoot Lucio from behind right now. And you take a look at C9, they have a whole lot of ults up for the next fight. Kai will be able to combo with either Death Blossom or Deadeye. Is Surefour able to take down Midnight? So Rise right now, they're not going to be able to wait for a full 6. They just need to get on this point right here, right now, or they are going to lose Hollywood.
Midnight needed to get out of there. He had an exit, and he did not use it. Spirit does come in with the Nana boost, but Surefour has other ideals. Graviton into Death Blossom. That's it. That's Cloud9's map.
C9 will be taking Hollywood here. There's just about no way that Rise can bring it back, so good effort there from C9. Good use of ultimates to secure the fight, or last point. And even though there's a little bit of stall coming in here at the end, it's just not going to be enough.
Walk is too far. We're going to a map number 3, which is King's Row. Going back to Kings.
Gonna end it with one of the classics. I gotta say though, win or lose, this has been just a very entertaining series in general, because not only has Rise been very impressive, you take a look at what we've been seeing out of Spirit, out of Xretzi, and just in general, their support play, Locke with some great Ana showings as well, versus, of course, the veterans in C9, 3 very veteran people on that roster, plus 3 tryouts. It's been interesting to see how these two teams actually match up against each other.
Yeah, it kind of does showcase how Overwatch plays as far as knowing each other and knowing each other how they play, rather than just getting like the 6 best players, because like I said, on paper these are all very, very good players, not necessarily gelling together just yet, which is completely understandable. This roster is like brand new, so yeah, it's been interesting to see the moments where Cloud9 looks like, oh, they look like a team. It looks like they're talking. They did this because this and this, and like it's really fun to watch. But overall, you see like Rise Nation already has that, and that really came together as far as the control points go. But we're going to King's Row, our 3rd map in this best of 3, Rise Nation versus the new Cloud9. See what happens here. You know what? I'm starting to favor Cloud9. I feel like they're getting their feet under them, and I'm actually looking out for them in like the rest of this tournament.
I think C9 definitely has a bigger edge on payload maps. I think when you look at the map drafting part of the game, I kind of feel like C9 is going to go out of their way to avoid control from here on out, just from what we saw. I mean, I'm almost looking at this, I realize that it's a different team on one end and 3 different players on another. But I still like, when you look at how the control map went down, I kind of got vibes of C9 versus Method back at E-League, and I think for one reason or another, C9 probably just well advised to stick with maps that they have more practice on, like your King's Row, like your Hollywood, maps along those nature, because even if you look at Liquid, they gave Liquid a very strong fight, even though they ended up losing nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I think control maps are largely decided by your Zenyatas and your Winstons, and I don't know necessarily who Cloud9 has that is comfortable on either of those, because a lot of control maps are just about like just winning a fight, right? It's like whoever wins the fight gets the point, whoever wins the next fight keeps or takes over the point. So that's kind of how it goes. And when you're just doing like engage and hard engage fights like that, your Zen and Winston become very important. I don't know necessarily what they have to run on both of those. Defensively, it looks pretty standard-ish here. They are running a 3-2-1. There's going to be triple tanks, 2 supports, and 1 DPS, and the defensive Reaper from Spirit. I'd ask you to call the offense, but it would just end up making you look foolish as they switch. But this, I do think, is what they're going to run.
I think Surefour on the Hanzo is entirely expected here if he decides to go with it, and Mendo on the Pharah, why not? If you're not going to be running the defensive McCree Zenyatta, there's no reason not to run a Pharah right into this, especially if you have someone that can make Pharah work, which Mendo definitely feels it. Opens things up with a good concussive blast, sets Reinhardt in kind of not good positioning, and it's a good opening here from C9. They're getting the space they need to get. Yeah. They're pushing back Rise, and this is a case where if they just get a little bit more, they're definitely going to push the advantage and go right in.
King's Row offense has been a map you could always run offensive Pharah on, regardless. It doesn't matter if McCree is 10 times the power he is now. You have a nice little alley there, but Adam dying really early there is a problem for the offensive push. They do switch it back over, though, and they get a couple kills of their own as Kid, yeah, he gets the Ana boost.
It's a problem, but Mendo's been able to hit rocket after rocket, really doing all sorts of poke damage, setting up his team. Another long-range rocket coming out, setting up Locke for that death. And good effort here from C9. They lost Adam early on, but other than that, they kept their momentum, they kept winning the poke war, and as a result, they're rewarded with a very quick cap here on point A.
It is another good thing in favor of their communication and how they're working as a team, because you cannot run Pharah and not talk to your team, because you're not going to finish a ton of kills. You're going to start every single kill. I chunked them for 100, someone go finish, and that's how you run a successful Pharah. They did that just right then. They're going to have every ult pushing through here, but they're going to be pushing to a defense well situated for this next push. Kaikai's got to be a little bit careful. That is a very aggressive grab. Where's the rest of his team? Here comes the Dragon.
The Graviton comes in, the Dragon moving in. It's 4 kills coming up from C9. C9 not to be stopped right now, keeping up their momentum. And they are looking very good right now, almost completely different from what we saw from them earlier today, where they're up against Licca. I just feel like it's a much better King's Row opening.
They're talking, because I was very worried that Kaikai was using that Graviton just trying to clean it up himself, but he did it knowing that the ranged ultimate of Shore4 was about to come in and clean it up, because he was about half a kilometer in front of the rest of his team and just cleared so much space. Now it is up to the defense to hold here. They do have a couple of ultimates of their own, wiped last time before they were able to use them. Quite incoming.
Mendo, though, coming in for the back. Nano boost out. Barrage in. Justice raining from above. Mendo taking out 1. Gets 2. Looking for more. McCree under pressure. And, of course, they do switch that McCree to try and contain Mendo here, but mixed results. XRT is able to take him out, but there's the res. That is such a heartbreaker when you're a McCree. It's just like, oh, I just killed the Pharah. Why like this? And XRT, to his credit, still gritting it out, but his team is dying all around him, and even if he gets Mendo here, which he will, it's not going to be enough to actually hold the point.
Well, Retsy's a great McCree. That's one of the highlights of this team, is his hit scan play is off the charts. He's wonderful on the McCree, but he can kill Mendo all day, but when no one else is killing anyone else, you're still going to be in for trouble. As Shore4 adds a late kill onto Spirit. They're being very aggressive. Like, both these DPS have no concept of what a Reinhardt shield does, and they're totally happy because they're getting pocketed anyway. That the heals have been there.
It is, and for Rise, their best chance to turn this around. They do have a lot of ults in their bank. They should be able... Oh, no! Shore4 finds Spirit right away! There will be no big death blossom coming out. Shore4 having himself a run right now. 2 quick kills coming out, looking for Lucio. I don't think Lucio realizes he's being hunted. Mendo with the rockets over the top. Everything going in favor of C9, and Rise kind of collapsing right now, Hex.
It's been all red on the left side of the kill feed as they continue to push forward. No resurrection on the defense anymore either, so they're going to have to kill the offense twice over, as Adam's been holding on to this res in his pocket for quite a bit. He does tempo res again, and that's been the second time they do that. Here comes a grab.
Oh, here it is. Graviton in the Dragon Strike moving in. That is one hungry Dragon taking out 3. And Shore4 saying, I'll light out on 4th, right on top of it. Gets the 5th! What a mid-air arrow coming in from Shore4. That was the Shore4 show at the very end of this. My goodness.
Yeah, and we will like focus on the DPS and how well they did, but I do think you're seeing signs, just as a spectator, right? I'm only in third person, but you're seeing signs that this team is talking and communicating, and as that gets better, that should be frightening for everyone else in the tournament.
I mean, really, it just feels like just watching C9 over the last series or two, it feels like they've been leveling up before our eyes, and it's really cool to watch, so...
You know, like, honestly, I'll ask them, but I feel like it might be, like, the 4th set they've ever played as a team together, like this particular roster, because I know you and I have both seen different iterations of this Cloud9 roster in different scrims, and this is not the exact iteration I've seen of the Cloud9 roster, so they've been trying to put it together the last couple of days. This might be, like, the 4th or 5th time they played together.
Yeah, and you take a look at teams, even if you have a really good core set of players, I would direct you to Fnatic, where they started out as Numerous. They weren't world beaters in the very beginning. It took them a lot of time to gel as rosters. So, again, C9, they're trying out new people. They're not necessarily committed to the roster they're setting up now, but if you did see dramatic improvement come out of them in a short order, don't be surprised, because it wouldn't be the first time we've seen it in the scene.
Yeah, I wonder who was shot calling on this team. Who do you think? Maybe Kaikai? Kaikai or Adam?
Hard to say. I mean, I could see Kaikai doing the shot calling. I don't think it's Shore4 doing the shot calling. It depends. A lot of teams, of course, have their support do shot calling as well. I just don't know how the C9 comm structure is too much on the inside, so I can't really say.
Yeah, I would assume like Kaikai or Adam is probably maybe a combination of both of them, because Adam's always been on support. He just doesn't necessarily strike me as the most boisterous of people, so him and Kaikai perhaps combining. But the core of this Cloud9 team looking good, integrating all of these top-level free agents. It's been fun to watch so far. We'll see what they have here on their defense. Shore4 hanging out on Statue on his Reaper, looking for that drop down. Nothing really out of the ordinary from either side here.
Nope, nothing too crazy here. Mendo going to be looking to control the game on the Mei. Surefour looking to bring the muscle on that Reaper, and wall comes in to begin with, and Surefour saying, you know what, I'm just going to stay up here. I'll wait for the drop in. And getting all sorts of good damage onto the Reinhardt, though, almost getting punished in turn.
Gotta be a little bit careful. He's going to Wraith out behind the shield, though, as they do put up another wall to renegotiate the battlefield. The Spirit tries to come through, punished for it.
Spirit dying immediately, and Spirit, he's been the muscle for us. When he dies here, it's not great. Surefour finds way to the backline, getting the free Hanzo pick, looking for more, gonna get the double kill onto the Zarya. And C9 coming out strong here on King's Row, where, again, if you don't take King's Row in the first fight, you end up giving ultimates to the defense. It makes the defense way more likely to win fight number 2, and it really gums up your offense in a situation where Ryze doesn't have a whole lot of time to spare. One
of the most difficult first points in the game for an offense, in my opinion, just because your entry options are so limited. Retzi taking out Surefour is going to really help them, though. 6v5 coming in.
That was the simplest of geometry. Experts to get fall through here. Dragon Strike moving in, making positional problems here for C9. Kaikai, though, taking down Spirit early once more. So the offense of Ryze Nation a little bit kneecapped early on. Blizzard coming in here from C9. They're going to look to control space. Not sure it's going to be enough, but Mendo coming in, getting one pick, looking for more. Desro in trouble. Soundbearer coming in late from Adam. But this could be enough for C9 to at least get a little bit of stabilization here.
They really wanted to win that fight, as evidenced by the Soundbearer coming in as late as it did. They would like to get a couple other kills in the chase. They are chasing it very deep. Takedown locked towards the end. You know, a mediocre Soundbearer, I suppose. Like, they wanted to save a couple people, make sure they won that fight. 2 minutes left to finish this next push, and they are going to have both tank ultimates up in this next push. We'll see if they can get some efficiency out of them.
They will have the tank ultimates up, but look at Surefour. He's in a great position to just roll to the back line and do absolute havoc here with the Death Blossom. And actually, he's just saying, you know what, I'm just going to use Primary Fire. Kaikai set me up so well. Just click after click, gets 2 kills right away, and he gets to save the Death Blossom for the next fight. So Kaikai with the early strike to set all of that up.
It literally looked like he took his hand off his keyboard. He wasn't moving at all. No WASD. He was just standing up there and clicking.
Look. It was that multitasking coming out from Surefour. He's like, well, I could move, but I really want to get a drink right now. So he's drinking with one hand, clicking on them with the other hand, and picking up 2. That's how well Kaikai just set up Surefour.
You just forget how goofy characters look when they're not moving and shooting, just standing and shooting. But the air shredder comes in, does not hit everything. The offense does come in with the sound barrier. Spirit takes down 2 to begin this fight.
He takes down 2, but Surefour off the flank, takes down 2, finishes with a Death Blossom. Rib getting 3 in the middle of it, and this is not a one fight at all, but it's Spirit and Desro, 2 on the point. And they might have done enough as Spirit with the final clutch kill on the Surefour. So Ryze just barely dragging themselves onto this point. But you take a look here. I think C9 will probably give this up and just go for a better defense on streets.
Yeah, I mean, like, even spelling out seconds on first is not all that great. You would rather have a more coordinated streets defense. So they already lock them off there. It looks like they want to hold on streets very first up on the first point. And this is an area where you see a lot of, like, kind of drop downs and things like that. With both teams running a Reaper, would not be surprised to see something sneaky try to come out, but both playing it pretty standard right now. The only ultimate on the field is the offensive Graviton.
Alright, well, Graviton going to be coming out here from the side of Ryze. They pull in 5. Earthshower coming in. Desra, though, not getting what he's looking for. Rib able to keep his team nice and secure there. And here comes C9 with the counter moving in. Blizzard is out. Earthshower out from Rib. Also not getting a whole lot, but it's 5v5 between the two teams right now. And here comes the Blizzard coming in from Mendo, setting up Rib for another kill. And C9, they're going to hold here and buy themselves even more time against Ryze.
Yeah, solid defense there as the Blizzard came up behind the lines, grabbed a couple kills there. They remain to be holding on this first line here. It's been a strange night for sound barriers. I think sound barriers have just been, like, precautionary. They've been the insurance, but it's not like engaging on sound barrier, disengaging on sound barrier. It's like, oh, we might die on sound barrier. It's been a little bit off on the Lucio games tonight, but there is this defensive grab. There's a high noon up. We'll see what kind of targets that Anna wants to get on her offensive push with the nano boost. It's probably going on Spirit.
Alright, well, the defensive Graviton coming out here. Retzi ends up going in with this team. Had faith that he'd be protected, but Surefour rolling in, ends up taking out 3, moving in. Midnight actually going to chase Surefour off, but the damage has been done. And C9 right now about 2 team fights away from taking King's Row and taking the series.
I think we're going to see a repeat of that just with different colors, as I'd imagine that Locke's going to give Spirit this this nano boost momentarily. They're going to hit all their Qs and hope because they only have 90 seconds left to get this to the second point.
This is all hands on deck right now for Rise. They need this next fight to go in their favor. Midnight's going to open up here the Graviton. Graviton is out. Nano Boost is out. Spirit moving to that backline. Death Blossom in. Takes down one really early. Moves right in. 4 quick kills coming out from Rise. But they had to cash a lot of their ults to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've always said, though, I mean, even not in this situation, if you have to burn all your ults for a single point, King's Row second's not a bad one to do it because it moves your spawn so far ahead. It's impossible to engage on the second point from where you spawn if you're taking first, so you need to do it. But I don't think this fight is over yet, as defense is going to be in position to contest before we get around the bend.
Alright, so Destro still holding on to that Earth Shatter. Gonna be looking to set up C9 as they roll back in. Does land the Earth Shatter, knocks down at least 2. Soundbearer in here for Rise's Spirit going in once more. Ends up taking out 2. Surefour did. Death Blossom in the back, got very little for it. And even though the Blizzard is creating space right now, hang on. It's Surefour versus Spirit once more. Spirit trying to hang in here, is getting supported. And it's a gritty last fight here, but Spirit doing pretty well.
Yeah, Spirit does clean up the next couple. It's always good to have a Reaper on your side when you get down to these like 3v3 duels, just because his own sustain, his escapability, and his damage all combines really well to these kind of like scrappy melees. They are going to be able to push the card here. Not over yet. 90 seconds now on the clock to finish out this point.
And you take a look at Spirit right now. Spirit looking to pile on, gets to that high ground Reaper position where Reapers have dropped down time and time again. He will be getting that support from Midnight and Azaria's shield and just looking to go in, but here comes Surefour. They're both going to be Reaper fighting out here for control of this. Spirit, I think he's going to go to the back line instead, says enough of Surefour. Let me get in on Wolf. Goes for the C9 supports, has 1 kill, looking for the second. Adam will fall, and Spirit decides, you know what, I'm not taking that Surefour fight, not when I can do so much damage to your back line.
Yeah, I mean, when you're fighting in a mirror match anyway, you never really feel great about it. Like, winning it is okay and it's fine, so he just chooses to go to the route of victory, taking on 3 in the back line, leaving Surefour to his own devices. Surefour is going to try to gut it out here as Graviton is up.
Graviton coming in here from both teams. Both teams getting to it. Spirit, though, able to take down Mendo early on, still unanswered. 170 HP in the back, looking for more, will get more. And this is where Spirit is so deadly, where people aren't on him, and he just lays in shot after shot. Good positioning play coming from Spirit, and Rise, even though at a dramatic time bank disadvantage, will stay alive at least to overtime.
Yeah, it actually is a little surprising. I did not expect them to finish that map based on what we saw for first push and second push, but they did get consequently better phase to phase. I think that's just a great like decision by Spirit, and he might have been talked into it because he was hanging out there trying to like duel Surefour the 1v1, and I was actually thinking before that was happening that when Cloud9 is winning is it's when they get the other team in a dueling position. So if you're 1v1, 3v3, Cloud9's essentially going to come out ahead, and that's a lot based on just the mechanical skill of the players that they have. You cannot engage Cloud9 like that. It's a little surprising they lost King of the Hill, but that King of the Hill is not necessarily always about dualism, but when you get down to scrappy fights and things have deteriorated, that's when Cloud9 has used that to their advantage. Spirit, knowing that, chooses not to 1v1, takes the Ana-ult, goes in the backline, wipes out 3, and that's how they're able to push that last point.
The thing about good Reaper play is that it's part mechanics, part decision-making, and Spirit has proven to be very adept at both. I mean, just the positions he puts him in to pick up those kills. It's not all aim, it's also game sense to get himself in those positions. So he's been very impressive and definitely one of the very standout players here for this Rise Nation squad.
Yeah, I would say that Reaper is about like 85% just game sense and decision-making and positioning. All of your abilities are to get you in position. The aim, it's like, well, if you miss a headshot, sometimes you'll miss that hit, but like for the most part, your shotguns, bro, just be like where you need to be. So yeah, Reaper is definitely like that. I always kind of make him akin to like TF2 Spy with Dead Ringer. Get in, get out, try to get a kill.
All right, so offense of Rise, not with a whole lot of time with them here. They only had a minute, but they are able to get the first pick off on the Surefour. That big gun of damage is down, and Spirit gonna have an opportunity to go to the back line, looking for Kai. Will take him out with X-Retzi, looking for more. Getting into Ana, has to back out, but Rise getting everything they need here. And Hex, we might be in for an overtime payload push in just a moment as X-Retzi getting all the cleanup he needs and more.
It does appear so. Retzi has been off the charts. They do try to stall it out with an Ana. I think Riv is going to try to come in here At this point, like, you might as well try to get on the point where they get pulled out, pushed out. Short4 grabs a kill, but it is way too late. This first point is going to be captured, and now we're into the overtime. Are we going to see a luxury watch kind of push? Are they going to get to the end?
That is certainly what Rise is hoping for here, and they will have the ult to back it up. However, you want to talk about playmakers here for the defense. They have Graviton. They're about to have Blizzard and a Death Blossom. So C9 has a lot of ways of stopping this miracle push from happening, but this is one of the greatest parts about Time Bank. This is where miracles do, in fact, happen. Let's see how this works out here, where Kai right now looking to set the tone, does have that Graviton up and ready. Mendo looking for the follow through, and here comes the Earthshot from Desro, but the counter coming right in. Expertzy, though, able to get too early on. So Kai still blowing the Graviton in a 3v6 situation. This is a little bit rough. I don't know.
It's all been late.
Shore4 coming in from the flank, ends up getting 5. They did not care. Shore4 able to set that up. You thought Expertzy had the fight won, but Shore4 out of nowhere. As Kai says, Overwatch. Oh my goodness! What in the world?
Right, on the defense, though, those are like 3 of the most mistimed ults you can see. They were all very late. They should not have happened. And then Shore4 just proves us all wrong, saying, like, you don't think...
Hurricane Matthew, oh my goodness.
Is Shore4's actual...
I feel like that's one of those things where that's not even necessarily too soon. I don't know. I'm staying away from Hurricane Matthew jokes, but Faz can own that one all on his own.
It literally hasn't even happened. Of course it's too soon. I hope it hasn't happened. I don't know. I live in the safe
It might be too soon for Zoms, though. Zoms is like... I don't know why he's playing, and I guess apparently Shore4 is in the area, but so is Zoms. And it's just like, guys, just evacuate.
I made the smart choice to live in a place that doesn't have natural disasters. So I don't understand hurricanes.
Hey, listen, as part of Team Midwest, I'm right there with you. I mean, sure, it gets cold and we get blizzards, and technically we can get tornadoes, but they're the weakest tornadoes ever.
Yeah.
Tornado Alley actually just laughs at us.
I always just mock whenever a tornado warning comes on. I'm like, oh, maybe you'll have to go downstairs. Probably won't. Like, not gonna happen. All right, so we are still going on this map here. After the Shore4 show did come to town, Hurricane Shore4, as he's been dubbed in our lobby chat. Right now, what do they just have to take first? Or no, take first.
They have to take first and push it a little bit here. So, and they have 4.5 minutes to do it. So C9 in a really good position. Mendo opening up once more with that knockback on the Reinhardt, setting things up.
So first an Arch as they do come in here. Mendo is still running on that Pharah. Like I said, a great map to run the Pharah. Pretty much uncontested over the top, get those damage boosted rockets in, and it pushes them back into the corner. Retzi takes down Shore4 though. It's a great opening kill for them.
It's good for them at the very, and again, they're gonna have to do this for quite a while here, where you can't rest easy here as a defense on Kings Row. The offense respawns really, really quickly, and honestly, it's a rough go here for Rise, but it's a thing they have to do nonetheless. Mendo, though, moving right to the back line, looking to take out that McCree, not wanting him to take him out of the sky. And while that's going on, Spirit able to get to the back, takes down Wolf.
Reinhardt v Reinhardt happened there, but Adam is going to res up the remainders of his team. It's been tempo reses all across the board for Cloud9 so far. Spirit's trying to get poke in from the backside, but they see everyone. Kai taking down Retzi should push this fight in favor of Cloud9 as they take down another.
2 kills coming out here from Kai, and C9 definitely with the momentum on their side. The defense not going to be able to reinforce. Mendo, just for authority, taking on Faz, who is off on a wall-riding adventure.
Yeah, and this first
now remember,
like,
they have to take point A and get a little bit further, so technically it's not over yet, but it's going to be rough as Mendo is looking to set them up with this barrage.
Have you ever seen a team take point A and then not get the cart there? Like, that's a very small expectation. That yellow box is so close. So close.
It is incredibly close. This is not usually where Kings Row games end.
No.
But Shore4 definitely finding a way of ending it on the last thing. But here comes the defense. They got to roll in really quickly here. They don't have time. 3 meters, 2 meters. Okay, so they do get the contest up, but here's Mendo. He's waiting. In comes the barrage. Justice raining from above. Gets 1. Looking for more. Will end up with 2. Gets a nano boost for good measure. And C9 just about has done it here. They just need a little bit more. And GG's already coming out.
1 meter, man. All right. Cloud9 does pull it back after a rough showing on Nepal against this team. They do end up winning the set. 2-1. And it does remain that Cloud9 is still good on the hybrid maps. And even though it's only half of Cloud9, even if you want to call it that, they did win Hollywood and they did win Kings Row.
Play of the match.
Alrighty, so Shore4 play of the match coming in. The weird thing is that it's on Hanzo, and honestly, it was a great play, but That Reaper play at the very end. Oh my goodness. I wonder if, does this have his mid-air flick arrow? If it does, then it's totally worth it. It does. Look at this. Look at that! The mid-air flick arrow. You don't see that every day. That was just phenomenal.
No, I see that every time right before I stop playing Overwatch. Every time that happens to me, I exit to desktop. That's how I've seen that before. Our next match will be, I believe, Team Liquid versus this Rise team. So they did fall to Cloud9. We'll see how they fare against Liquid.
It'll be interesting. I think going off of what we saw from C9 and Liquid earlier, you'd definitely give the edge to Liquid over Rise, but Rise has been a very entertaining team to watch, and just seeing players like Rutzi, Spirit make their mark, have great plays, it just shows that new teams can come out of nowhere in Overwatch. And hey, if you're watching this and saying, I'm pretty good at comp mode, I want to get in, make a team, see where things go. You'd be surprised.